백운 화상 초록 불조 직지 심체 유들 is the oldest metal printed book in the world among existing books, which was made 78 years before Gutenberg in German had published the 42-line Bible. You can see that its historical value from the event that the world's powerful presses pointed out that the metal printed type had mostly influenced on the human historical development during the last 1,000 years. Also, 직지 was published in Hungdeok Temple, 866 Avenue, 은청동, 흥덕구, 청주 City, Chungcheong Province in Korea. In 1377, it has not been valued for a long time. However, it was registered to memory of the words of UNESCO in April 2001. Thanks to that, every circle started to value high. Only the last volume of 직지 is now in safekeeping in manuscript Orientaux of France National Library, and the recovery movement of 직지 is actively spreading, centered around Cheongju.
Now we will gonna talk about the value of 직지. Greatest event and invention in human beings' cultural history in the end of 20th century. In this pool, Gutenberg's metal printing arts of German won the first without exception. The reason for this result is because his art enabled the general public to contact with information by mass producing information which had been exclusively possessed by high classes. The mass distribution of information began with mass publications of Bible and continued to the Revolution. Producing information about industrial science technology was connected to the Industrial Revolution, and cultural arts were connected to Renaissance. All of this overdrew the ruling classes who had possessed the power of information. This continued to the civilization revolution and made a foundation of democracy today. We can find the true value of 직지 here. Also, Gutenberg's metal printing arts have completely changed the Western history of civilization. We invented the oldest existing metal printed 직지, which is 78 years earlier than Gutenberg's, and enables us to produce small but various mass information. Therefore, 직지 is the starting point of the information age, represented by internet as well as the greatest invention in the history of human beings.
Now we will gonna talk about metal printed book 직지. Metal printed 직지 was published in Hungdeok Temple in 1377. This printed book is the oldest metal printed book among existing books. and registered in memory of the world in 2001. Originally, it consisted of 2 volumes, the first and last volume, but the first volume is not handed down, and only the last volume with the first page torn off is kept in manuscript and texts of France National Library. The printed book of the last volume of 직지 is 사주단부연 and 방왕 is not obviously known, and there is a limiting circle. The number of letters in a line of bound-up is 11 lines and 18 to 20 letters, and 주문 is double lines. There is no end of a word on the board, and the title of the board is 직지. The heading of the book is not known, and the ending title is 백운 화상 초록 불조 직지 심체 요절. The size of the book is 24 cm and 17 cm. The paper is very slight and white. The whole text is doubly folded very slightly. The cover looks remade. The title of 직지 also seems to be written with an Indian ink after the original. The cover says in French, "This is the oldest printed book with modern type." With the Chronicle of 1377, written by Maurice Coran. The characteristics showed in metal printed 직지 are 5 things. First, the lines are not straight but askew, and some of them are slant. Second, the difference of the thickness of ink color showed on drawn letters paper is large, and spots often occur. Even some letters such as they or one are written reversely, and some other letters were not printed out completely. Fourth, the same typed letters are not shown on the same paper, but the same typed letters are written on the other paper. Finally, there are also blurs and spots around letters. These are the 5 things which are the characteristics showed in metal printed book 직지. Now we will gonna move and talk about UNESCO. UNESCO is the specialized institution of the UN for the purpose of the forever peace by promoting international understanding and cooperation in the fields such as education, science, culture, and communication. Human beings were aware of that. Through the past 2 wars, the direct reason for wars was not political, military or economic conflicts between countries, but intellectual control conflict from each nation's distrust and prejudice. As a result, human beings believe that the intellectual elevation and the promotion of mutual understanding were a basis for a peace, and thus UNESCO was established for the purpose of promoting international peace and human beings welfare, which is declared by the UN Charter. Under the mindset that peace should be constructed on human beings' intellectual and moral
Association. This says UNESCO is and collect count on another UN consists of 186 countries. UNESCO is performing a lot of activities through the close cooperative relationship with many international institutions as human beings. Intellectual community. One of them is and UNESCO tries to seek for international peace and human beings, welfare through common heritage and making. These activities are excellent.